smile shines as bright as the stars at night. Her heart is as kind as can be. She has the patience of a saint, but if you push her, oh Lordy. A straight talker is Smiley. She's the salt of the earth. Make no mistake, she matters. Catch Smiley's story on a live stream. Oh boy, that girl can matter. Go Smiley. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Missing posters and stories of heartache and fear. She tells us all of the heartbreaking tears. She can sniff out the guilty from a mile away. If Smiley's on the case, then she's here to stay. She cares about these missing children. She cares deeply about them all. She speaks the truth with integrity. For the truth, she will seek it all. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Smiley's questions are like a heat-seeking missile. She's going straight for the bullseye. Don't ever believe you can fool her. She's too wise, man, she won't comply. She values freedom like the 4th of July. She values respect even more. If you want to earn a place at Smiley's table, watch the clock, it takes time for sure. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you break her trust, you're done for. Trust don't grow back like grass. So don't give Smiley a reason to doubt you, or that friendship will shatter like glass. She's a damn good woman, that much we know. She puts in the hours to bring them kids home. If your child is missing, you want Smiley on the case. She is always willing and she gives so much grace. She's a Smiley, alright. She's a Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you're guilty, you better feel fear. Her smile shines as bright as the stars at night.
She was born and bred in Nashville, but she walks the beaches down in Florida sand. A mother and wife, a daughter, a sister, trying hard to do the best she can. She found her voice with a heavy heart, looking for purpose with trembling hands. And giving this all a new start, moving ahead, speaking for ones who came. And she says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard. fought cancer while she was searching. Stories that needed a gentle voice. We saw summer's name and felt the heart ache and tried to bring light where there was no choice. And when she heard us the best in her sadness rose, she prays for truth through the noise. She'll follow wherever the story goes, seeking their dignity, a child's joy. She says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones on her, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned. She said, I am who I am, I stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard. She's got a caring heart that won't be turned.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Nice to see everybody. Thank you all for being here. Hello, Raymond. Nice to see you. Hello. I hope you're doing well. That's right. Hit them thumbs up button. Hello, Miss Janice. I hope you're doing well. Member for 18 months. Woo. Been putting up with Smiley and the Smiley Squad. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coming in. M. Blanc, hello, darling. I hope you're doing good today. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Welcome in. That's right, everybody. Hit that thumbs up. Make sure you're subbed up. Make sure that YouTube doesn't sub you while I've been offline or anything like that. It does that sometimes. It has a crazy mind of its own. So everybody make sure that you are subbed up. That is free. Thumbs up are free. All that is free. Hello to everybody in the bushes. Hello. I hope you all come in. You are all welcome as long as you behave. Everybody is welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you. That's right. Thank you. I'm going to leave that there just a moment because I am fixing to play a video first. Hello, D77777. All them lucky sevens. That reminded me this morning. I had breakfast and it was 15:15. I said, sound like some lucky numbers to me, honey. Sound like some lucky numbers to me. Maybe I need to get me a lottery ticket. 15. Better do it though before the day's over, huh? That's why we never win. We always be procrastinating. So hold on a minute. I'm live. I gotta tell somebody I'm on live. Anyway, so I'll always be procrastinating. I'm getting bad about that in my older days here. So anyway, hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in. The first thing that I do want to do, I have two of the same, so I'll do it for those coming in, and then some we'll play it for later. Raymond said, believe it or not, Friday the 13th was my lucky day. Oh, and I didn't come on that day, and I had forgot it was Friday the 13th. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Had I known this, I would have never got out. Did I have some bad luck? Yeah, I had a little bit of bad luck, but it was okay. It wasn't too awfully bad, so it was okay. And I was like, later on looking at my calendar, and I was like, or my phone, and I'm like, hold up, today's Friday the 13th? What? I don't do Friday the 13th. Well, that figures. No wonder. All All right, let's play one of these videos here, and then we'll get into what we're going to talk about. Hold on just a minute. I hope everybody's doing well. A lot of people's fixing to get some bad storms. All right, so let's just go to, I don't want that one yet. We're going to go to this one because I have two of these, and I'll play one now and later at the end of the show. And this is, you don't ever hear of this happening, hardly ever. This is a miracle. We're going to go through this, and credit is 7 Eyewitness News here.
From Duarte in June of 2020, when she was just 5 years old, has been found safe in North Carolina.
The Washington
But we cannot play this video you requested. Okay, well, then I will go to the other video. So, alrighty. So, it was not me that time. It was not me. Hold on, I'll go to the other one. I don't know. Hold on. Just a second. Let's see what's going on here. They may not. This is the same one. So let's try this one. Hold on. No. Let's try it again. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I don't know if it's going to allow me once I start playing it. Just chill. I've got to share. All right, so let's see if it'll let me share. All right, hold on. Maybe it'll let me share. Hold on. Stop screen. Let's try this again. Let's try this again.
A girl kidnapped from Duarte in June of 2020, when she was just 5 years old, has been found safe in North Carolina.
The Washington County Sheriff's Office says it found the now 11-year-old today. Investigators say she was enrolled in school under an alias. Her real name is Karen Rojas. The LA County Sheriff's Department and the LA Department of Children and Family Services today notified Washington County law enforcement that she may be in the state. They coordinated with several agencies, located the girl, and took her into protective custody.
All right, so we're going to talk about this a minute.
Well, we've been talking a lot.
We're going to talk about this a minute, okay? Because we never, ever hear of these things. And I wanted to talk about it. Let me take this down just a minute. I'll be home soon where I can get my mouse. Don't y'all worry. And I'll be whipping right on through this thing, honey, just like an old lady. But anyway, we're going to talk about, because we almost never hear about anything like this. Now, we did with the older girl that I did the other day. These things are a miracle when you do hear about this. Hey, Robin and everybody coming in. Hello, hello, hello. But we almost never get to hear these things, these good things, or get to say these things about missing children, right? We never do. But the little girl, Karen, she vanished when she was just 5 years old. 5 years old, she vanished from her home, and she was gone almost 6 years. 6 years. Think about that, people. Hey, Justin. Hello, my friend. Hello. I love you, honey. Thank you. Thank you. Whoop, whoop. Member for 12 months and put up with me for 5 years. Love you, my friend. Love you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. I'll be better once I can get home to my mouse, honey. Let me tell you that. Oh, Lordy, I can't do this. These buttons and everything else, Lord. I ain't the one. I ain't the one. But she was just 5 years old and she was gone 6 years, okay? She's finally been found and she's been found alive, y'all. That is a miracle in itself. Hello, Looking. Welcome. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, everybody. She was found, though, more than 2,700 miles away from her home. She was living under another name, and I want to get into all this because she was living under another name and she was going to school. The whole world believed, at least in California, that she had disappeared forever. But someone kept looking, okay? Someone never gave up. And so this afternoon, I want to talk about that for once. This story does not end in heartbreak. I mean, it's heartbreaking what has happened to her. God only knows. They're still siphoning through all of that. You're welcome, and you know who you are. You're welcome. But it ends with hope. So let's talk about what happened, okay? There's been some breaking news. I'm a little bit, it's not just breaking. It's been a couple of days ago, but this is breaking news. It's been an update, and a wonderful update, I might add, that this missing little girl out of California was found, okay? I love these stories. It makes me smile, but yet it gives me tears at the same time. You know, it gives me a lot of heartbreak at the same time, not knowing what this baby girl has went through, but it makes me restore my faith. See, I can't be like some people and say, I hope they're dead, because that's not the case with me. Every time I hear about these miracles, that's truly what they are, is miracles. She was found alive and she was safe. That's what the police said. After nearly 6 years, which is extremely rare in long-term missing children cases. That right there is a fact. Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming in. The child is Karen Rojas. She disappeared from Durant, California, June 2nd of 2020. When she vanished, she was 5 years old. For almost 6 years now, authorities considered her missing, and you know, they thought she was abducted by a family member. That turned out to be correct. But so one day in June 2020, Karen suddenly just disappeared from her home in Durant, in a small city in Los Angeles, California, which y'all know, although LA is big, okay, she was from evidently a small town there. Police learned that she had, or I should say, Karen had likely been taken by her biological mother. So here we go. Here we go, y'all. Police believed, they always believed, her mother did not have legal custody, and they always believed that she may have fled with Karen. And because, well, you know, things get a little messy, and honestly, I think honestly some things need to be changed, but when you get in a situation like that, things do get a little bit messy. However, let's stick with what we know right now, not what Smiley thinks, okay? today anyway. Because of that, the case was treated as a family abduction custodial interference case, which unfortunately that can make things much harder to solve. We've heard it time and time again, and that is a fact. So says the law. So says the law. But police and detectives did believe little Karen was alive. See, I just don't understand. It's one thing to hide the daughter, but to hide the mother, I don't understand. But okay, let me just stick with the facts here. They believed at the time, and they still believe, they never gave up, that she was likely being hidden by someone she knew, at least, even if it was not her mother. She could have been moved out of state, which she was. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Good to see everybody. Well, they were right to believe that. They being the police, they being, whoever, the family, they were right to believe that, to believe those things. Family abduction cases often involved someone trying to avoid custody orders or court rulings. So investigators believed she might be living under a different identity. How is it, I wanted to find out, how is it so easy to change a child's identity? I mean, this is not the movies. She might live in LA, honey, but this is not Hollywood. And she's not an actress. The mother was not. But of course, you can buy fake documents. We all know that. Let's be real. There's a real chance you're taken, though, when you do those things. And there's a real chance that you're taken, you not only get caught, but that you get blown out of the water by somebody. And you can't trust those who make those fake things. I mean, really? Are they your buddies? Buds? I mean, really? Sometimes, though, the child is simply called by another name. It's just as simple as that. The adult goes, they enroll them in school. I did some research on this. They just go and simply enroll them in school using their nickname or their middle name, and they claim the child has no records because they moved. Well, let me tell you something. That wouldn't fly where I come from. It didn't fly in any state I've ever lived in with my kids. They always go back and get the records for you, period. But it does happen. So it makes you wonder about some of these states. I do know, and I'm not putting down California, but I do know California is bad about a lot of things. So did that happen there? I don't know. Did North Carolina, that's where the little girl was put in school, did it happen there? I don't know. Seemed like to me California was on it. They never gave up. So we can't really blame them and that police, right? But today, a school is not going to let you in. I mean, we're talking about 6 years ago. I know for a fact, and so is New York, Raymond said. That's right. I mean, you got to prove everything. Your light bill, where you're living, who lives there, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But all the I's got to be dotted and the T's have to be crossed. It's very hard. And if you say you don't have the records, well, you got to have shot records and all that. And if you don't get your child shots or believe in that, you darn sure better have a doctor's report or something saying that. And they'll send off for the records for you. If they ain't back in a couple of weeks, everybody I've always heard of, Janet, it's the same. It's always the same. The schools are usually not going to let you in unless you have proof, unless you get lucky. You might get lucky and you know, they forget about it or something. I don't know. But they need proof. Even if you move, they'll send off to get whatever they need to get for your child's records. Now, another thing she could have been doing, I don't know in this case, she could have been homeschooling to avoid the systems. Homeschooling to avoid the systems. Some abductors avoid detection by homeschooling their kids, moving a lot, avoiding any medical doctors or medical visits, and avoiding any government programs. I don't want it. What are you talking about? I don't need free. I work XYZ, da 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 da. Because that reduces the number of records that could expose the child's real identity. Oh, and I know it protects the child. Y'all tell me how you feel about this. I never had a problem with it. But I guess because of these stupid online pedophiles, PDs, or whatever you want to call them, I mean, it's for safety. I understand. But I feel like if a child is at school, you have to fill out a form, though. Can they be photographed? Well, they want to photograph them if they go on field trips or if they're outside playing at field day or soccer. We have took everything away from these kids for faces like Brandon Lawson, for faces like people that's going around trying to take down channels. Buddy, you need to be on the registry and your face needs to be blown up everywhere. You need to stop it. Anybody who does anything like that, especially when it comes out of your own mouth, you admitting to everything, it ain't a matter of public opinion no more, by the way, FYI. But I think we're taking everything away from the kids. I think the kids should be able to have a photo took field day and all that. But this also is how they reduce. They don't allow pictures of their child being took. They don't allow them to get involved in extracurricular activities, and it reduces the number of records that could be exposed, that could expose the child's real identity. So I don't know in this case, but these are just a few ways it could happen. In some cases, people do use another child's birth certificate. They might get their relative's birth certificate. Again, I say how? It's hard. I have to have permission. I got every one of my grandkids' birth certificate just because I wanted them. But you can't just go get them. Even if you're kin to them, you cannot do that. You can't. It's not that easy. It's not that simple. But why is it that criminals, for them, everything's simple. Everything's handed to them on a silver freaking platter. Everything. And it puts these kids and everybody else in harm's way, or it takes away from the citizens who really need things. Exactly, Raymond. Absolutely. But they do. They use other children's birth certificates, maybe a relative's identity, or some old paperwork that appears legitimate, and they get what they need to get. This doesn't mean that the identity is truly legal. It just helps them avoid questions. Okay? Keyword being for a while. It helps them avoid questions for a while. Keyword being for a while. But here's the kicker. Distance is a big factor. When someone moves across the country, like California to North Carolina, neighbors don't know this family. That's a big plus for the abductor. I don't care who they are, if they're a stranger, if they're family, who they are. Schools assume records are perfect, legitimate, in order. Well, to me, that's an issue, especially when it comes to kids. You can't assume anything. When you assume, well, we know what all happens when we assume. Nobody realizes the child is listed as missing elsewhere. That's a big problem. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think personally. Y'all can say I'm crazy if you want to. I am. I'll admit it a little bit. But I think personally, there should be some kind of law in place in every single state to somehow ID a child in the missing database. Because Karen she was missing. She had flyers. She had all that. But I think somehow you should be able to have to see if they're missing, like when they register at school, because she was in school. So there you go. Hey, Val. Hello. Good to see you, honey. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Now, I don't know if it could be quietly put in and just the name or the face, or how that brings us back to pictures. Maybe take a photo of the child when they come in the school and put it in the computer or something. I don't look. I don't know. I don't make these laws. I don't know. I just think outside the box sometimes. Sometimes it's a little wild out there for me. Sometimes it gets a little bit wild. But I think that's all states. Something's got to be done because our children keep coming up missing. And for some reason, with all of this technology, they still cannot be found. There's got to be some kind of resolution. Family abductions can last a long time because the child is with someone they know. They may believe the story that the relative is telling them or have told them. The adult is controlling the situation, that's for sure. And they keep controlling them and they keep them isolated. They don't go around any police. They depend on, just being by themselves out there somewhere. Yeah, we definitely need some new laws. But the police, listen, the reason also I wanted to do this also, but it was brought to my attention, but the reason that I wanted to do this was because the police we've seen it recently. I've done a couple of lives on different things. Tips matter. They still matter. Please depend on your tips to help them. I don't care if we got a pissy one like Nanos. I don't care if we got a pissy one like Craddock. I don't care. First they come out and ask for help and then they don't want it. But let me tell you something. It's been proven time and time and time again that these tips help. Okay? They help. And that's why they're needed. And if you know something, it's very important. If you see something, to say something. And if you know something, say something. And if you suspect anything, say something. The good news in this case, even after almost 6 years, investigators were still working this case. So a new tip or a piece of information eventually helped the police in this case. It eventually helped them locate the little girl. And it confirmed her identity. That tip did. I don't know who tipped. That's why it's a tip. So again, in this one tip found, and they listened, and they looked, just one tip, it found Karen. And thankfully, she was found alive and she was found safe. So again, it don't matter how silly it is or how silly you think it is. Hey, Cripple Creek Farm. Yeah, one thing, just one thing could be the puzzle to everything. Don't bring it to YouTube. Don't bring it to Smiley. Don't bring it to whoever. Bring it to the proper authorities. And then if you want to come blab about it, then come blab about it. Take it to the authorities. Time is of essence first. When someone notices something wrong and they pay attention, God bless them. God bless them. They are the heroes. Maybe it's a doctor. Maybe it's a teacher finally saying, hey, something don't add up here. Maybe it's a neighbor. But whoever can stand up and say, hey, something is not right, and it leads to a break in a case, you're the real hero. Many cold cases are reopened because of new tips every year. And this is happening more and more now because of things like the school enrollment, or maybe the mother went to get a driver's license. Maybe because of social media, somebody recognized. I'm going to tell you, you can't keep these kids off of social media. I don't care how much you think you can. And you can blame moms and dads and say, why did they do this and why did they do that? Well, they can do the very best they can, but I guarantee you it's just like your drug of choice. If you want something, you're going to get it. Just like if your kids want something, they're going to do it. And the same thing. Hell, back 30 years ago, I used to have mine to where they didn't even wear uniforms, and I'd lay out their clothes. Well, I had one that was a little shithead, and he thinks he could do anything he wanted to do. But today he stands on his own. He's his own man. He's probably the most own man he is in the whole family. But I tell you what, he would tell me he's not going to wear these clothes to school. Honey, he would double put on clothes and go out in the yard behind the tree and strip them. I'm telling you, they find a way. Where there is a will, there's a way. Had me checking his little butt every day in his backpack and making sure he didn't have on double clothes. I mean, if there's a will, there's a way, and these kids are going to find it. Stop blaming the parents. I say some things, parents, yes, you can blame them, but you can't blame them for everything. You can have 7 kids that are all perfect and one can go astray and be a mass murderer. Period. End of story. Period. Nobody's to blame but for your own choices. Period. End of choice. End of story. But sometimes it's because of facial recognition, technology, or these new DNA databases. I don't know in Karen's case what happened, but something got somebody's attention. Listen, hope is real. Even years later, hope is real. These other cases that go on, it don't matter what we think. We could wake up one day and every one of these could be found. We don't know. You can't never turn a tip away because you think, or this one thinks, or that one thinks. It don't matter what people think. Not even the law. It's got to be followed. The tips have to be followed. Everybody has to be open to everything. Can't give up hope. There's always hope. Sadly, and very, very sadly, though, many cases do not end up this way, which is, when one does, it's why it matters so much. It matters so much. It's huge. For 6 years, this little girl lived under another name while the world believed she had vanished. But somewhere along the line, somebody noticed little Karen. Someone spoke up, and today she's alive, she's found. See, y'all, when she disappeared back in June 2020, she was not, and I know y'all want to know, she was not living with her biological mother. And I always say when a child don't live with their mother, there's usually a good reason why it don't live with its mother. Can't always judge, you can't always assume, but it's pretty darn hard to get a child away from its mother. Period. So there's usually a good reason. Well, the reports and my research show, they say she was living with her legal guardian. I don't know who her legal guardian was. I don't know if that was her grandparents. I don't know if that was a friend. A legal guardian can be anybody that's got legal guardianship of you. I don't know. But the point is, her mother didn't have her. So she was living with her legal guardian family in Durant, California. Investigators have indicated that her mother did not currently have legal custody at that time. So because of that situation, authorities quickly began to suspect it was a family abduction. Back when Karen went missing, she was put into the National Missing Persons Database. So yes, she was. And yes, they shared alerts with law enforcement nationwide. Karen was treated in this case as a missing and endangered child. They knew she was missing and they thought her to be endangered, even though she was with a relative. Okay? They did investigate all the family connections, all the possible travel locations, just like they did with Lori Page. They did everybody. They investigated everybody, the grandmother, they went back to Nashville, the mother, the friends, everybody. That's what they do, especially if they think it's within the family. But they had to check where she lived before, were her mom and dad, were her family members, what state connections, any travel prior to, and all those things. But there was still nothing. That's the part I don't get. Again, they might have moved a lot. They might have just hopped around and moved a lot, living under other names, both her mom and her, kept away from people who might recognize them. I'm not sure. Now, as of when I did this research, they still have not said much about the mom. We'll get to that in a minute, but reports indicate that Karen's father and other family members were constantly actively searching and cooperating with all the investigators. Sad. Like many families in these situations, they had very little information about where she might be. Once she was gone and just disappeared, she disappeared. They never had any evidence that they put out publicly. Nothing suggested stranger abduction ever. From the beginning, the police mainly focused on the possibility that a parent or a family member had taken her. And that was from jump. Because of that, they continue to look at family connections and possible locations she might be living at. I just don't understand why it took so long, but I'm glad they found her. But I just don't understand why it took so long to find the mother. See, in these cases like this, did the mother not have any relatives? Did she just break all ties? I don't know. This is really strange. The investigators received information from a tip that led them to Washington County, North Carolina. So any of you people up there in Washington County, North Carolina, you know where I'm talking about. This little girl has been there this whole entire time. Police got this tip. They found Karen. They found the tip, they found out about it. They followed the tip. They found Karen. Karen had been living there for some time, they said. She'd been attending the school, and she had been using a different name, a whole different identity. Once investigators confirmed who she was placed into protective custody. Oh, thank you, Raymond. Raymond gifted a membership. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I don't have my bell. Don't have my bell. Whoever got that, please thank Raymond. Thank you, Raymond. So the little girl, unfortunately, she was placed in protective custody. Investigators have not yet said whether the mother was living with her or even at that location when they went and got the little girl. I'm sure she was living with her, but they haven't said. I don't know, I'm sure if they haven't called her, she's probably run or tried to go underground now. I don't know. That could have changed after I researched this. Again, that could have changed. But according to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, the child's mother had custody, but stopped communicating with the Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS, during an active investigation, and was believed to have taken the child. That was when she went missing. So she already had a Children and Family Services problem with the little girl. So it remains unclear exactly how long the child had been in North Carolina or who she was living with at the time she was located. So I don't know where her mother is, honestly. As far as the timeline goes, this is what I know. June 2nd, 2020, the child was kidnapped from Durant, Los Angeles, California. July 1st, 2020, LA County DCFS officially reports the child missing to Temple Station Sheriff's Department. March 6, 2026, Temple Station detectives receive information suggesting the child is in North Carolina. March 10th, 2026, Washington County deputies confirm the child is enrolled in a local school under an alias and take her into protective custody. What they're saying is the Washington County Sheriff's Office did emphasize the significance of the recovery, stating these are very rare occurrences, and they are. They would be very right about that. To have such a positive outcome on such an old case as this, but I want you to know it does remind us all of us, through everybody working together and hard work and never giving up hope that it is possible, that there are stories like this, it's real life like this, that come out with positive outcomes just like this. It can happen. When they got back with them, they confirmed the child is safe. The possible charges she could face are custodial interference, kidnapping, concealing from a child from authorities. Listen, I wouldn't want kidnapping on me. I don't give a damn. I don't care who the kidnapping is of. Kidnapping is a big charge. But nothing has been officially announced yet that I'm aware of again. So some reasons they might not be coming out with the things on the mother yet. Could be just a few reasons, like the child is still being interviewed. That could take a little while, especially if you think about it. And that child is traumatized. I mean, and if the child's been safe 6 years, hell, this would have traumatized the child. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know. Authorities may be just trying to figure out exactly, was there anybody else involved? Who helped hide them? Who helped conceal her this entire time? Did somebody help them? They're questioning the child. There's many states involved, many, I'm sure FBI, many agencies are involved. So they may also be building a criminal case first before they come out and talk about the mom or anybody else that may be involved. So in this case, that's exactly what happens. The child is usually placed in protective custody while investigators and child services and all the specialists, this child has to have specialists talk to them and know how to talk to them and understand who they were living with, what happened to them this entire time, what they remember, what name they were using, how they had, how long they had been living there in that location, what other states maybe they had been in, and if anybody, the main thing is help them. This process could take days, weeks, months, but I'm positive it will take a while because I'm positive, in my opinion only, that this child is very traumatized right now. So we talked about a little girl who disappeared when she was just 5 years old. And for 6 long years, the world did not know where she was. We also talked about something we don't hear nearly enough in crime. Hope. Hope. Because against all odds, this child was found alive. That's hope right there. Let's watch this one other video here. Let me see here. Y'all hear Happy snoring. I'm so used to it now, or I think y'all are so used to it, I don't even tell y'all anymore she's snoring. I just think y'all assume it's Happy. They say she was safe. That's all that I'm hearing, Val, that she's safe. I don't know, more may come out. It may not because she's a minor, but they just said she was safe. So I'm not quite, I'm not quite sure. I'm sure she's traumatized though, and she was taken into protective custody. This is Channel 3. She's a pretty little girl. Look at her.
We do have some breaking news now. Washington County, where there's been a major break surrounding a California missing child case.
The Washington County Sheriff's Office says that the girl on your screen, Karen Rojas, was kidnapped from Duarte in Los Angeles County, California, back in June of 2020. Deputies say they got a tip today from the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department and discovered that the girl was enrolled in Washington County schools under a fake name. Rojas is now in protective custody, according to the Sheriff's Office. We'll continue to follow this story and share updates as we learn.
So, I mean, she is a pretty little girl. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Did I play that? Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Oh, Lordy, honey. Did y'all see that, honey? I don't know if y'all even seen that or not. Okay, did you see it, Raymond? Did you get to see it? Okay. So, yeah. Anyway, so, it's always hope. Because against all odds, this child was found alive, though, and that's a big deal. It's a big deal. Stories like this remind us why we keep, though, sharing flowers, and why we keep saying their names, and why we refuse to stop looking. Somewhere today, somewhere, our family is still waiting for the same miracle. If you take anything from this story, let it be this. Do not stop caring, never stop sharing, and never stop believing that someone out there knows something. People don't just disappear. Hey, wait, what? Hello. Thank you, honey. They don't just disappear. Love each other. Hold each other a little bit tighter tonight. I thank each and every one of y'all for being here. I will play us out, and I will see you in the streets. YouTube streets, that is. Y'all share out this video. Thumbs up. Make sure you're subbed up. Love you, my peeps. See ya. I'm going to play us out. Let me put it on mute.
She was born and bred in Nashville. She walks the beaches down in Florida sand. A mother and wife, a daughter, a sister, trying hard to do the best she can. She found her voice with a heavy heart, looking for purpose with trembling hands. And giving this all a new start, moving ahead, speaking for ones who can't. And she says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned. Her mama fought cancer while she was searching, stories that needed a gentle voice. We saw summer's name and felt the heart ache and tried to bring light where there was no choice. And when she heard us, Sebastian, her sadness rose. She prays for truth through the noise. She'll follow wherever the story goes, seeking their dignity, a child's joy. She says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned.
And thank you for being here. I want to say one more quick thing. Can y'all please say some prayers for Thomas Randall, one of our Smiley Squads? I meant to say that at the beginning, but Thomas has been really, really sick for a few months now, and I just found out about it yesterday. So Thomas needs all the prayers he can get. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in these YouTube streets, honey. See you later. Thank you. Bye.